Hello there. This video is going to be the first of several in which I'm going to show you how to use several features of WordPress to help you create your WordPress portfolio site as part of this class and to provide you with the skills you need in order to continue to let your WordPress site grow over your time in the major, and then hopefully if you choose to continue with it after you leave St. Joe's in a few years. In order to do this, you will need to have your URL up in the browser, and it would be great if you are logged in. You'll need to be logged in eventually. I'd also like you to have the Some Important WordPress Terms document open. I've created this as a Google Doc and linked it off of the course page under Some Important WordPress Terms. You can open that up and you'll be able to see some of these terms that I've created for you just to help you understand and keep up with the kinds of things that I'm talking about in the video, in this one and moving forward. And you can see that I'm going to be organizing these based on the weeks that we're covering certain things in class. And I hope that helps you I hope it helps you organize what you're learning and be able to find things when you need them later on. Okay, we've talked about this in class, but just as a reminder, WordPress is a content management system that affords website designers the ability to upload, organize, and manage all aspects of their website, from writing content to adding multimedia to creating privacy settings. Users control the content and functionality of their site via a dashboard. Okay, the dashboard is here. And we're going to be learning and going over some of that, these settings today. Most but not all content added to a WordPress site comes in the form of pages and posts, with posts appearing as part of a blog. Posts and pages are supplemented and enhanced by plugins and widgets. The site's navigation is presented via one or more menus. The visual appearance of a site is based on a theme that the user installs and customizes to fit their aesthetics and functional needs. I will put here this is the designer or the website owner installs. Now, pages and posts have all sorts of content on them. They have written content, multimedia content, links, everything that you associate with a website. Okay, so today we're going to go over creating pages. We're going to go over plugins and installing and activating plugins. We're not going to be going over widgets, but I just have them here so we could talk about them a teeny bit. We're going to be talking about menus, and we're going to be setting up our permalinks as we look under some of the settings in the dashboard. Okay. First, I want to make sure that we're all looking at the same theme. So under Appearance, you can click on Themes, and I recommend that you go through this process with me, and every time you see me trying something new, you pause the video, try it yourself, and then come back to it. All right. WordPress has just very recently added a host of new features to make things more complicated than they used to be. That complexity creates for more complex and nuanced sites. But I'm not familiar with all of those just now, so I want to start a little further back, and as I'm learning and you're learning, we'll be able to add more of that complexity throughout this semester as we go forward. Previously, I'd asked you to activate the 2021 theme, which has some legacy settings, which I'd like you to learn before we move on to the newer settings that are in the most recent themes, the most recent WordPress themes. And one thing that WordPress has changed that we do need to go through at the moment is we need to go through and publish your site for the first time so that all the necessary default pages and everything show up. I'm not sure why this has been created this way, but it's just something that we need to do right off the bat here. So if you can click making sure that you have the 2021 theme active, and then click Customize, you will be brought to this customization window, which we're going to be working with later in the video. And I would like you to, up at the top, you'll see a blue Publish button. And I'd just like you to click Publish. When that is done, you will see that it has been grayed out. You can close this down. And to ensure that this did install Publish properly, I'd like you to click on Pages. And then you will see multiple pages already created here by default, your About, Blog, Contact, and so on. So on your dashboard, you're going to see that there are places where you can create posts, and we're going to start creating posts in a couple of weeks, not this week, so we're going to skip next to that one. A place where you can add new media, so if you want to upload photographs. A place where you can create pages, and we're going to be adding pages to our sites, and some places where you can manage comments if you want to. There's also this appearance area where you can customize the way the theme looks. You can add widgets. You can customize your menus. You can customize backgrounds. And there's, if you want to get into the coding, you can control some of that. There are also plugins. These are according to the definitions of plugins. Plugins are additional features that users can add to enhance both the appearance and functionality of the public-facing part of their website and the functionality of the dashboard area. And we're going to be going through and adding some plugins today. Okay. There are also places where you can manage users if you want to add new users to your site, various tools that are available, and settings. And I want to start with the settings because we want to make sure that we are getting things set up appropriately right from the beginning. And it's also important for you to be able to see that you have the ability to customize certain parts of your site. The general settings, you have the ability to choose the way you want the date to be formatted. So for example, if you want it like this or you want it like that, you could choose however you want it to be, how you want the time. You should also set your time zone. And we would go and find the, I don't think Philadelphia is on the list. So we would find the New York time zone, and that will set the time zone appropriate. And then we would, if you want, depending on what day you want your week to start, I like to start on Sunday. You can choose it as Monday. I'm going to click Save. I'll zoom in a little bit here so we can see a little more. Under the Writing tab, you have the ability to choose your default categories, the posting format, which you're going to keep as standard, I recommend, and so on. And you could take a look at each of these as we're going through, and we're going to talk about them more at later times. For now, I want to go and talk about permalinks. Permalinks, as I've written on this sheet, basically when users click on pages or posts, a new URL will appear in the browser address bar. So for example, right here, if I view the site, there's already these basic pages set up. This is the permalink right now as set, where we have the URL followed by the page name right in here. You can control how you want that permalink designed. And that's under permalinks. And so right now, it's the custom structure is set, and I would recommend either this structure where you have the sample post, basically the name of the post title in here, or you can create a custom structure where you have a category and then a post name if a category is applied. All right. I don't recommend using any of these other ones, and that's because search engines like to look at the address name, the permalink that's associated with the sites, and it doesn't categorize and archive these numbers as well as it does something with words. And this is one of those search engine optimization features that people like to use. So you could choose either one of these. I recommend it. And if the default is category post name, I would just keep that. I would not have post name category. You want the category first. And we'll learn about categories in a little while. So I'm going to click Save Changes right here. Now once you have done that, I would like you to go and click on the Reading tab, and you will see that we have a way of displaying what we want to appear on the front page. Right now the default is your latest posts, and that essentially is your blog showing. And in another video we'll be talking about what that blog is. So right now if I go to my home page, I have this Hello World, which is the default post that comes with all WordPress themes. So we have the ability to choose what we want to what we want to appear on our front page. So if I want to have a static page appear, I could click on this and I can show, for example, I might want my About page to show first at this point, because we don't have a blog just yet, and the About page might be customizable. Is definitely customizable, so you could say something really nice on there, which we'll be doing for Friday, and that will be the first thing that people will see. And you would keep the post page as your blog page. That can be customized too. Often nowadays blogs are no longer called blogs, they're called like news feeds, or they're called like updates, or they're called just any other name that's associated with like a design portal, whatever that kind of thing is. So I'm going to click Save Changes, and I should be able to click on Refresh, and this is now my About page. The About page is actually showing up at this point. Okay, and we're going to go take a look at this page in a second to see how we can edit this and make it more of our own. But first, what I would like to do is I would like to go to the plugins area. And these plugins, like it says on the sheet here, are additional features that you can add that enhance both the appearance and functionality of your site, either the public facing or the back end of it. And we are going to add and activate each of these plugins. Okay, and we're going to do that real quick. We're going to see how fast that is. So I'm going to come to the plugins page, and I'm going to select Add New. And you can see the classic editor is right here, and I'd like you to click Install Now and then Activate. So plugins have to be installed and activated. You can have some that are inactive, have some that are active. It's really up to you if you want to keep things inactive but still installed on your page in case you want to change that. And you can see that the classic editor is now installed and activated here. And I'm going to show you a little bit and tell you why we have that in a minute. I want you to install the classic widgets and activate that. And which other ones were they? The fonts plugin. So I'm going to do another Add New. I'm going to type in here, fonts plugin. The fonts plugin, what this allows you to have is access to the Google Fonts typography on your site, so you don't have to just use the WordPress defaults, which are not that great, but now you have a lot of different ones that you're able to use, and we're going to go over those in another video. But it's good to have that installed now. And the last one is the WP Forms Lite. WP Forms Lite, there it is. And there's going to be another video for how to work with WP Forms and how to use the fonts plugin, like I said. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is go over to your pages. Now that once you've installed those, go over to your pages, click on All Pages, and you will see that there are multiple pages that are already defaulted installed for you. The About, Blog, Contact, Create Your Website with Blocks, Privacy, and a Sample page. Those are all right there for you. I'd like you to go down to Create Your Website with Blocks and do Quick Edit. And I would like you to change the status from Published to Draft, okay? Because we don't need to see this page. We don't want it there. You could just delete it, but I don't want to do that right now. I might want to look at it later on for one reason or another. So I'm just going to click Update right there. Okay. Now, there are two editors for the moment that are available for WordPress users, a block editor and a classic editor. The classic editor remediates Google Docs, it remediates Microsoft Word. That's what we are going to start with because it will ease us into working with WordPress. And then later in the semester, as we're working on the later post of our design blog, we will switch over to the block editor, where you will learn how to do and use that editor as well. So I would like you to click under About, click Edit with the classic editor. Okay. And you can change this name if you want to be like About Bill Wolf. I recommend doing that. And you can add in this space some introductory stuff about you. You know, hi, my name is Bill. I'm an associate professor at St. Joseph's University. Very much like what is on the About page of my current website, right? And I can just sort of copy this. And I see that I have to update some of this. So I'm just going to keep this first stuff here. I'm going to paste it in. And then I'm going to grab some of what this lorem ipsum. This is text that designers use as just a space holder so that they can see what things look like on their site. And I'm going to paste that in there as well. Okay. And now I can click Update. Update. And now I will go back to here and I'll click on the About page. And you can see that the content has now added. Now you'll notice that this is not a very complicated theme just yet either. And that's because we're working on the functionality of the site and learning how to use this. Once you become more comfortable with WordPress, we're going to go off and find some more complicated themes. But for now, we're just going to be working with this theme as it is. Okay. Now I can also add a photograph if I would like. I can click Add Media right here, and I click Select Files, and I put on my desktop a picture. This photo. It's not the most professional photo in the world, but it is right here, and I'm going to put some alt text. Color photograph of Bill Wolf at sunset wearing a white hoodie with the hood down. Okay, and this is in the way for the moment. I'm going to keep this medium size alignment. I want it on the left. I can choose that. No link at the moment. I'm going to click Insert into Page. And there it is. It's going to show up right there. Very nice. And then I will click Update. And I can go back to my website now, click Refresh. And there it is. Okay. And it's About Bill Wolf right there. So now my About page is set and it's on my menu, and as well as the blog, which we'll get to, and then we'll work on our contact page for another video. Okay, now that we've seen this, I want to show you a couple things about customizing the appearance of the site. Very basic stuff, nothing too overwhelming at the moment. If you go under Appearance, you can click on Customize. And you can see that there are a variety of different options over here. The Fonts plugin, which we'll be going over at another time. Site Identity, that's the name of the site and your tagline. You have the ability to add a logo if you want to with this particular theme. There are colors. You can select a background color. Right now I have this dark blue color that I've chosen, which I'm going to copy here because I want to come back to it. But you can choose a host of other colors, and you can see that it's changing right there live for you. You can sort of slide it around, whichever color you would want to use. There's a nice one. I like these darker ones for some reason today. And I'm going to go back to mine. If there's a color that you know and you have the hex code for it, you could just pop it in there. There's a way to add a background image if you want to. I don't recommend doing that at the moment. Menus. I've tried working with this menu option. I wouldn't use it here. We're going to do that somewhere else. And there's also like homepage settings, which we looked at earlier, and excerpt settings, and we'll talk about excerpt settings in next time, and some additional CSF if you know some coding. I do want to change the menu, however, because I'm not pleased that this says about Bill Wolfe. I just want to say about. So coming back to the dashboard, I can click on Menus under Appearance. And here I could click on this, and I can change this to About, just About. And when I'm done, I have to make sure I click Save Menu. I can also move these around if I want to. So on. And we're at about 20 minutes here for the video, so I'm going to stop now. But I'd like you to work on doing each of the things that we've gone through in the video. Changing some of the settings, editing your About page, customizing it to say something fun and nice like an About page should. And so let me know how it goes if you do have any questions or concerns. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you were able to do on Wednesday in class. Have a great day. Bye.